And welcome aboard the Just Ducky Tour. Yeah. All right. Okay, so who can name the 3 rivers?
Oh, Allegheny, Monongahela, and
Ohio.
Now, who's in charge of keeping our rivers clean?
All of us.
True, but who does the dirty work?
Is it Alcosan?
Bingo!
When the overflow happens, it mixes in some areas with the sewage, and then that means it's going directly into the river. So one of the things that Alcosan is working on in this big project as we move forward is trying to minimize the overflows of the storm water that may mix in with the sewage and go directly into the river. We have to make sure that the streams that are right now going into some of our sewer systems is stopped, so that means that any rivers or any water streams in the future would go directly to the river and not come into our sewer system. We have to be able to find some kind of way to hold those overflows in such a way that if it happens, there's a way to catch it and it won't go then into the river. And then down the line, then that can be treated if it has mixed in with the sewage. And we realize that ratepayers want to pay for this, all of us. It isn't that Alcosan is saying, you guys have to do it. We're all in this together.
We take the wastewater from houses, businesses, and industries, and we clean it up before we discharge it into the Ohio River. The 4 things that manage the stormwater is to first remove it, keep it from getting into the system, hold it if we have to, put it in storage tanks until we can treat it. 3rd one is move it, and the 4th one is to treat it, expand the plant capacity so we can treat as much water as possible.
does cleaner water affect local businesses?
That's a great question. Well,
And he took me to the top of Mount Washington, and I looked down. I was like, this is a gem. This is a pearl. Look at this place. I've never seen anything like it, and I meant it. I just couldn't believe how beautiful it was. And came back 2 weeks later with my business partner. Did the same thing. Took him to the top of Mount Washington. Showed him around, and the more we spent researching the city and its history, a great history, and we knew we could tell a really good story. We knew that the city would tell a great story, but what we didn't realize is the story these rivers would tell, and how tied inextricably the city's history and really the nation's history are to these rivers. And that's when we knew we were going to do business in Pittsburgh, and there's no other city for us.
But we saw that the bulk of our business when we were doing houseboat bed and breakfast were Pittsburghers. And it was people interested in connecting with their rivers. I mean, it was really great. We had a couple from Lawrenceville, they said, 5 stoplights away. They were celebrating their 47th wedding anniversary, and he brought all his fishing gear, and she was making dinner and reading her book, and they just had the best time.
so with all that water to cross, it's no wonder we have 446 bridges.
Wow.
Do many people live near the river?
They sure do. Many people are moving closer to the rivers. That's why keeping them clean is so important.
I decided to live on the water because I just have loved the river. I've always enjoyed staying near the water. There's a life to the river. It changes based on the day of the week. You'll see rowers rowing up and down the river, or the dragon boat groups that come and paddle 20 people in a boat up and down the river. And you'll see people fishing and out water skiing and tubing and wakeboarding. And you just see all these people enjoying themselves, particularly here on this stretch of the river. And so my dream is that people realize what we already have in this great resource, and that they work hard to protect it and to make it available for others to use in the future.
There's something about water, living on water is very calming, and it just is very attracting to you when you live on water. I mean, you can't help but look at that. You can't help but breathe every morning.
I've only been here a week, and I've fallen in love with this city.
Join the club. Business or pleasure?
I just moved here for work. How will cleaner rivers impact the overall economy of the region?
We're very excited to partner with Alcosan in improving water quality and the urban environment. We think it's going to be a great partnership where the public itself will feel very much a stake in improving water quality for our region in the next decade.
Between kayaking, jet skiing, and boating, the rivers provide us with a wealth of recreational opportunities.
I don't live near the rivers, so how will cleaner waters help me?
Now, that's a great question.
Shaler is one of the most upstream communities in the Alcosan system, but we have an environmental responsibility not only to within our own community, but to the communities that our system flows through. The purpose of a stream removal project is to remove that stream, to remove clean stormwater from the Alcosan system and to put it back where it belongs, into the rivers. The Township of Shaler, along with 82 other communities, are part of the Alcosan system, and all of us collectively work to eliminate sanitary sewer overflows and to reduce stormwater from getting into the sanitary sewer system. So to the extent that an upstream community can eliminate inflow and infiltration into the system, it's beneficial to all 83 communities.
Water is like gold, and it will be in the coming years. So it's a help that the community keep it clean as much as we possibly can, because Alcosan is just one company, but we are many. If we join together and we're all in, we can help them. Because this is the right thing, because water is precious.
Well, we use the river for a lot of things. I mean, it's a very soothing environment. We're also using river water to irrigate our gardens. We have a pumping system that we've created. We use river water for irrigation. We enjoy kayaking with our friends. It's magical to sit at the fire pit in the evenings and watch the boats go by in the summertime.
Well, folks, our journey is coming to an end. You're too kind. We do have time for one more question.
I've seen this region go through many changes. Do you think one day we'll be known for the cleanliness of our rivers, like we are for sports, tech, and medicine?
Don't forget food.
There's so many great questions.
And now today we're looking at the rivers in a different way. They sustain life. They have the opportunity to build what this city will look like in the future. And we have to make the investment that in the future there will be good quality water. We have to make the investment that through green infrastructure we can minimize flooding, we can minimize the amount of water overflow into neighborhoods, we can retain that water and be able to solve many problems as we address our combined sewer overflow problem.
Alcosan is, their role in this is they are the community. I mean, they're the 83 communities that make up the ratepayer base and what Alcosan does. So Alcosan is a system that the mayor and I and a lot of stakeholders work together with in collaboration. So they're a reflection of what we as a community wish to do, to put processes in place, a green plan in place, along with a gray plan in place that makes sense, and to spread it out cost-wise for the benefit of as many people, as benefit of all, is what we're going to do. So they're an integral partner along with all the municipalities, the businesses, the individuals, the homeowners, and the future. Well, as we look again holistically, and if we spread this out over a number of years, we didn't kind of get into this mess, so to speak, in a couple of years. It took decades to happen. It's going to take a number of years for us to fix it. But the fact is, we're now a desirable place where people are coming, where businesses are coming. So this growth can help us spread some of that cost out over a wider tax base, over a wider ratepayer base. But the more important thing is we do need to make this investment. If we're going to grow, and we're going to grow sustainably, and we're going to be a desirable place where people and businesses want to locate, we need to make these infrastructure investments for the future.
We sit on a natural resource that most cities don't. We have these beautiful rivers. I think they're our most important natural resource. The Clean Water Plan gives us an opportunity not only to help me in 20 or 30 years, but our kids and our children's kids. We can leave something behind to be very, very proud of. If we take that opportunity right now to make these rivers as clean as they possibly can be, we've done something good.
All right, everyone. On behalf of our crew and myself, I'd like to thank you for riding along the Just Ducky Tour.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you had fun. Oh,
Yes,
and
yes.
maybe learn something along the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please watch your step. And remember to be Three Rivers proud.
Yes.
Yeah.